trying to fight the demons in my mind. I'll prevail with every battle if I'm right. Guess my aim was off, the target's out of sight. Would I be better if I left it all behind? 'Cause we could find a way, we could find a way. Find another place where we can just escape. We could find a way, we could find a way. Find another place where we can just escape. We could find a way. We can find a way, we can find a way. Find another place where we can just escape. We can find a way, we can find a way. Find another place where we can just escape. We can find a Just take my hand. We'll leave this place behind. No second chance. I know there's more to find. We could find a way, we could find a way. Find another place where we can just escape. We could find a way. We could find a way, we could find a way. Find another place where we can just escape. We can find a way, we could find a way. Find another place where we can just escape. We can find a way. We can find a way.
you've imagined are real, aren't adding up. You fetched your ideas from nowhere, from another. Your logic's impaired, your full picture is cropped. 'Cause we both know that one day we're just gonna cry again. Without doubt, might say if all's gonna mend. We both know that one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't pout for our sake, 'cause this ain't the end.
My way or die!
We both know one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't pout for our sake, 'cause this ain't the end. We both know one day it's just gonna try again. Without doubt, might say if all's gonna mend. We both know one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't pout for our sake, 'cause this ain't the end. You're so far off, oh, it's like you can't see ahead. These feelings you've caught don't make sense. Your plan's gonna flop. You keep raising doubts without cause. All you feel is dread. My logic is fair. If it's pain, it's ever gonna stop. 'Cause we both know that one day he's not gonna cry again. Without doubt, might say if all's gonna mend. We both know that one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't pout for our sake, 'cause this ain't